What's up, guys? I'm Caden with Crypto Now or Never, and welcome back to another Cocoro update. If you enjoy this style of content, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. As always, none of this is financial advice. Let's get into it.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want.
Okay, now before I go over anything with Cocoro, this is very important. So 1 hour ago, the Federal Reserve announced that it's going to end quantitative tightening on December 1st. If you guys have been watching my content for any amount of time, I've been talking about this for a very long time. In theory, this should be very bullish for the crypto market from a long-term standpoint. And then on top of that, the Federal Reserve also cuts interest rates by 25 basis points. And this has probably been priced in for a long time though at this point. I've been talking about how Polymarket had like a 98% chance that this was going to happen. But the ending of quantitative tightening is huge. A lot of people don't understand that during the last altcoin season, it was a time of quantitative easing. We have not seen quantitative easing since 2021. We have been in quantitative tightening ever since. And a lot of people out there still don't understand that. Quantitative tightening is not bullish for risk on assets. So at least once this ends, the crypto market is no longer going to be fighting against the Federal Reserve, at least not from this standpoint. So again, understand there's a good chance that better days could be ahead. Now, if we come over here and we take a look at Cocoro, you can see that it has dropped a decent amount since my last video. I haven't covered Cocoro for about 7 or 8 days, but it's currently at a $1.55 million market cap. And if you come down here and you look at the transactions, this really was due to a couple large transactions. You can see that a big part of the initial drop was this right here, $17,800. Obviously, when you have a 1% sell, it is going to drop it a little bit. It was holding a 2 million floor pretty nicely. And I know a lot of people now are questioning, well, why isn't it bouncing back up? And I just want to continue to say what I've said in pretty much all of my previous Cocoro videos. The reality is that I personally would not expect anything to change unless this Uniswap issue gets resolved. Truthfully, I cannot say that any more clearly. For me personally, I still really like the narrative. Nothing has changed in that regard. But if nothing changes with Uniswap, then I wouldn't expect anything to change from a price standpoint. The Uniswap issue is very unique in this space. We do not have a large sample size as to knowing what happens next. So we'll see if that eventually gets resolved. I would personally not blame anyone for wanting to sit out of Cocoro until it gets resolved. I just want to be clear on that. That's not me saying that this couldn't be a good buy opportunity. It absolutely could. But there is a whole other level of risk to this project because of the Uniswap issue. Just make sure you understand that. The other thing that I do want to point out about Cocoro though is when you come over to CoinMarketCap, so you'll notice that the volume is still decent, 311K. And that's actually with it being down 30% in the last day. That's still over 20% from a volume to market cap ratio. A lot of projects out there do not have anywhere near this good of volume, especially with a Uniswap issue. And then more importantly, I want you to look at how down it is from its all-time high 5 months ago, 94.7%. It is no secret Cocoro has gotten hammered from its all-time high. And the main thing I want to make sure you guys understand is how down Nero is right now. So as you guys know, back in 2024, Nero got the Binance listing and it was the hottest coin in crypto. And it ran over a $1 billion market cap. If you scroll down here and you look at the all-time high, it's down 93.8% from its all-time high 1 year ago. So yes, Cocoro was down 94.7, but Nero is still down 93.8%. Cocoro is not even down a full extra 1% than Nero. And a lot of people would argue that Nero is the leader of the narrative, not even just Dogecoin. So obviously the situation would be a little bit different if Nero was pumping right now, but it's not. And obviously always do what's best for you. I just think right now the way that you should look at Cocoro is treat it like it's 1.5 million. The issue that you run into with a project like this is a lot of people are treating Cocoro as if it's still a 30 million market cap. The reality is it's not. There are obviously no guarantees that this project ever recovers. But if you ask yourself, does this project have more attention than the typical 1.5 million market cap project? Absolutely. Cocoro has a pretty well established name in the Memecoin space. So if some of the issues can get resolved, then 1.5 million could possibly be an excellent entry. Again, nothing is guaranteed though. Always do your own research and understand the risk. If you look at their X account, you can see that they just broke over 1,000 followers again. They're 1,023. And this is actually their 3rd or 4th X account. They've had several suspended previously. And then they also had a Telegram that was hacked and deleted. But they're still on here pushing, which is nice to see. And then if you just type in hashtag Cocoro on X, you can see that there's still a lot of the community members that are posting constantly. That's the kind of stuff that I love to see because ultimately community is everything with meme coins. You want community strength. That's very important. But honestly, that's about all I can say about Cocoro specifically right now. I wish I could give you guys some major update right now, but I can't do that. There hasn't been any major news recently. I do lastly want to show you guys Ethereum though. And I just want to point out that I am still very bullish on Ethereum's weekly time frame. And the reason that's important is because the weekly time frame is a much larger time frame. And I've been saying for a long time, time. If Ethereum breaks out and it goes into price discovery, then I think that'll be very bullish for the altcoin market. By definition, Ethereum is the leading altcoin. And right now, you have to understand that if you look at price action, it's swinging up into a higher low, the RSI is swinging down into a lower low. That is class A bullish divergence. You pair that with the fact that it's just trading in a bull flag right now and it's retesting support, and it could be a support and resistance flip. Previous resistance now becomes support. And then you also have extremely oversold stochastics right now, and the 21 weekly moving average is holding very well as support. There are so many indicators right now that would suggest Ethereum looks very good and could absolutely break out from here. Not to mention the Federal Reserve just announced that they're going to end quantitative tightening. Now, am I saying that the breakout is going to be immediate? No, I am not. Again, the weekly time frame can take a lot longer to play out. Ultimately, we have no idea what is actually going to happen. I just want to say that I'm personally bullish on this chart. But yeah, that's about it for the update today. There wasn't really any crazy Cocoro news today. However, we had very bullish news with the Federal Reserve. But if you guys are interested in market updates and just getting into projects super early in general, then as always, I recommend you come over and take a look at my Discord. If you look at the all-time gainers, we have hit some huge multipliers this cycle. Some of these projects have done over a 200x. A $1,000 investment could have turned into over $200,000. So if this is the kind of community that interests you, you can find the link right here on my YouTube homepage. I'd love to have you guys in here with us. But that's about all. Let me know down in the comments how you guys are feeling about Cocoro. If you enjoyed this content, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day.